EA for this early access event for the game code for the LoveStruck Expansion Pack. We are back with episode 2 of our mini-series for our LoveBound series, and we are here with Melinda. We have given her a little bit of an update. She got her hair changed, and I have gone ahead and done a little bit of tweaking to her home. But we are going to be jumping right into this episode, and we are going to take a look at seeing if we can send her on a little bit of a date and hoping that she can potentially find some love on some of those matches that she found on Cupid's Corner in the last episode. So let's go ahead and jump in with her and see if she is going to be able to be successful on some of those dates. She is doing pretty good. She's feeling quite playful currently, but she wants to go ahead and get a little bit of television watching in. I know that's a shock to everyone. But she has acquired the romance skill. It says her new skill in romance will allow her to successfully flirt more frequently and romance other Sims faster. And she can now research romance tips on the computer and perform a romantic introduction, which we absolutely love. But I am going to go ahead and have her just give Andrew a call. She had gone to bed last night because it was like 3 o'clock in the morning when she got home from work. So she didn't really get a chance to talk with Andrew. So I'm going to have her give him a little bit of a call. They're going to get to know each other a little bit better, and hopefully she will be able to find out some things about him. And maybe we can actually even send them on a date and he can be the first person that we go out on a date with. I know that she has quite a bit of compatibility with Carlos. But since she is kind of getting to know Andrew already this morning, maybe he can be the person that we end up going out on a date with, and we will send them out somewhere in the world and let them go on a little bit of a date. It does look like she did find out that his third trait is good, so we have figured out all of his traits. So let's go ahead and we're going to ask him on a date and see if he potentially wants to go out on a date with us. And then we will see how that goes. So he is romantic, cheerful, and good. We have a neutral romance with him currently. So we'll see if we can kind of get that up during our date and see how things go on that. So she's just going to give him a little bit of a call, see if he wants to go out on a date with her, and if they can maybe go out and have a really good time together, getting to know one another, and if some romance might potentially bud between the two of them. So considering the time of day it is, our options here in the world, we have a lounge, we have a park, and we have a nightclub, it looks like. I think maybe due to the fact of what time of day it is, it would probably be best if we send them off to the park. So here we have arrived in the park here in this world. Ciudad Enamorado, I believe is how you say that. I probably just totally butchered that. But this is the park. This is what it looks like. And I am just going to kind of give you guys a quick look at this here. It is a 2-story build with a public washroom, it looks like. And on the top building or top floor of the building, there are some seating arrangements, some benches, and some places for them to play chess. And then on the bottom floor, there are some more places where you can sit, but it looks like there is also an area where you can go and get some drinks or things like that. So I will show you guys that area as well. So let's just go ahead and get a little bit closer here, and I will give you a look at the building here. So as you can see, the top area is the chess area where they can play a little bit of chess here at the park. And then, like I said, the bottom area is just a dining kind of area. And you can order, I'm not sure if you can order food or you can just order drinks there, but you can go there and order some things. It looks like it's set up for you to be able to order some drinks and things. But let's go ahead and let our Sims get to know each other, and we are going to do some friendly interactions. We have to do some social interactions and do some flirting. They need to sit and chat with one another. So we are going to obviously need to meet these social event milestones, but we also want to see if I can get some romance between the two of them. We want to see if we can build on their relationship and see if we can get some changes to their neutral status. She obviously, as we know, is exploring romance, and she is wanting to find love. I mean, that is her ultimate goal here. She does have to go on a get to know you date. This probably isn't actually going to count as a get to know you date, so we may have to do a get to know you date later on and see how that goes. But she does have to go on a get to know you date. She does need to get to level 2 of the romance skill, so she does have some milestones that she needs to meet for her overall aspiration there, but we have these goals that we need to meet for this date. So we are just going to have her go ahead and chat with him a little bit. She's just trying to get to know him, and she's trying to do a little bit of flirting. She's already feeling quite flirty just from being out on this date. She is finding him pretty attractive, I think. And she's happy to be out here. She's happy to be getting to know more people. It does look like they have gained a sentiment together, which is fantastic, and she's asked him if he wants to go ahead and do a little bit of cloud gazing with her. Their friendship is going up quite significantly, which is fantastic. I love that they seem to be getting along really, really well, but they haven't gained really any romance together as of yet, so she is going to have to turn up that flirting a little bit better. As we know, she is a love bug, so I do think that flirting kind of comes naturally to her, but for whatever reason, she is finding it a little difficult to kind of build romance with Andrew. And so she's thinking to herself, like, maybe he isn't really into me, and she's not really sure what exactly the issue might be. You know, she is, you know, trying to come off as just being friendly, but part of her is interested. And so she's thinking, well, you know, how can I kind of tip that scale? So we are going to get her to go over here. Once they're done cloud gazing, they're going to go over and they're going to sit on that bench over there, and maybe we can get them to chat a little bit and they can get some flirting in, and maybe we can work on getting their romance up, and we'll see if anything changes between the two of them. He's feeling really, really inspired from doing this cloud gazing, which is great, but it would be really kind of nice if we could get him in a flirty mood. So she is just doing a little bit of comforting of him. It looks like maybe he might be kind of going through a hard time right now, and maybe that is what is causing him to not really be able to focus on romance all that much. But she's like, why don't you come over here? Let's have a seat. Let's have a chat. And he's like, okay, that sounds like a good plan. So they're going to come on over. We're going to get them to have a seat. They're just going to sit together here on the bench, and they're going to just discuss some of their interest, and they are going to, she's talking about being generous. Really, come on. She's going to reveal a deep secret to him. They had to stand up for that. I wish you would talk to him about things you can actually sit and chat together, and you don't have to like get up and carry on. You need to sit and chat, and she needs to obviously do some flirty interactions. So we'll just get her flirting with him a little bit more. And it looks like they have finally acquired a little bit of romance, which is great. It's small, albeit, but it's there, so we love that. And so she is seriously flirty, like, wow. Oh, and it looks like she has felt the spark of reform. Should she change her love bug ways and live more romantically reserved? I mean, I don't know exactly what that means, but we'll go ahead and say yes, and we'll see what that means for her, and we'll find out together, I guess. So let's go ahead and say yes to this, and we'll let her take the romantically reserved trait, and we'll find out how that changes her. And so her personality has changed a little bit. So she is just doing some flirty interactions with him. She is trying to butter him up, basically. She needs to shave her legs, like, goodness gracious. You could have done that before you went out on this date. He's probably thinking, like, neither here nor there. But anyway, she is just truly trying to flirt with him. I do think that, obviously, by her changing to romantically reserved, her flirting options have changed a little bit. She can now, like, charm him, and she can do some different interactions romantically. The flirt option is no longer there. It's kind of changed a little bit to, like, charming him and indecently just saying things to him and things like that. So we love that. So these ask risque question. Okay. Well, so she is just trying to get their romance up. She is flirting as much as she can, and she is trying to put the moves on him, so to speak. We're going to do a civilized remark here with him, and it looks like we currently have bronze on this date. It's not really going all that well. It Looks like Carlos has reached out and he's like, I heard you've made friends with Andrew. That's great. Yeah, we have. We're trying to build up a little bit more, but you know, we're doing what we can. All right, so we did level up to romance level skill 2, which is fantastic. So that has marked that off on our aspiration, because we did need to meet that for our aspiration, which is fantastic. So Melinda is well on her way now to marking off those goals for her aspiration. Now we are just going to continue finishing on this date. Hopefully we can do some nice things, and you know, hopefully Andrew's feeling the spark as well. You know, I think Melinda's definitely feeling a spark with him, but I'm hoping that, you know, he's kind of feeling a spark. It looks like there is on their panel, it does say they are kind of like a romantic interest now, but it's not anything really more than that. They don't really have any really deep feelings. It's just kind of something new, something fresh, that's just kind of budding, which is to be expected. I mean, this is just kind of starting out, and so we are just trying to do the best we can. She's starting to get really tired, so even though we haven't done the greatest on this date, you know, I am kind of hoping that it's going to end soon so we can get her home and she can go ahead and maybe get a little bit of rest, because I do think that she also has to go to work later, and she's going to be absolutely shattered when she has to go into work and, you know, deal with the spirits and try to get them to their final resting place and things like that. So she's thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to do my job when I've been out on a date all day long? But she didn't really think that through when she decided to schedule this date. She was just thinking, I don't really want to spend my life alone, and I have to kind of get out there and throw myself out there. So these two are, you know, snuggling up together a little bit. They are absolutely precious. Look at them. I kind of wish that they would kind of get on together and they could become a couple, because they are actually pretty precious. I think later on, we may actually see how her and Carlos get on together. I know that that may be a little taboo, but, you know, she did kind of find Carlos on Cupid's Corner as well, and so we may want to see how they get on. I mean, they are supposedly having good compatibility, so there's a potential that she could get along with Carlos a little bit better than she gets on with Andrew. Although her and Andrew seem to be doing really well, their romance is going up quite significantly, and their friendship is all the way up in the green. So, I mean, they're really hitting it off on this date. I think that, you know, Andrew seems to really like her quite a bit. She is going to go ahead and approach him and just see if they can maybe go ahead and share a first kiss together. That's pretty bold of her, but she's like, you know what? I'm feeling it, and I'm going to take a risk. And so she is going to do a first kiss with him. And oh my God, that brought us straight up to gold on the date. We love that. So they are going to have had a legendary date now, just because they shared a first kiss. He kissed her hand afterwards, and he's like, that date was amazing. And she's like, do you think so? And he's like, yes, Melinda, I had a wonderful time. And she's like, I had a wonderful time too. And he's like, do you maybe want to go out on another date? And she's like, what do you mean? And he's like, I think we should go on another date sometime. And she's like, I would love to go out with you again sometime. And he's like, wonderful. Do you want to go out right now? And she's like, oh, you meant immediately. Oh, no, not right now. So we're going to say not right now, because I really do need to get her home. And she's like, but I would like to know if maybe you might want to be my romantic partner. And he's like, I would love that. So these two are actually going to go ahead and be romantic partners. She just really feels like there's some kind of spark there, and she has decided to go ahead and be his romantic partner. In the back of her mind, she still thinks to herself, I really would kind of like to get to know Carlos. I still want to know if there's something that could potentially be there, and isn't really thinking that Andrew will mind too very much, because, you know, she's not trying to be like romantic with Carlos. She just kind of wants to get to know him. But as you can see, these two are lovebirds. He is her partner. It says that she has fine romance with Andrew, and you can improve that through the romantic interactions. So we absolutely love that. So they are in a good place currently right now, but obviously we can build on that. But we're going to go ahead and get Melinda to go home. We're going to let her get a little bit of rest. And then once she has rested and done what she needs to do, gone to work, etc., we are going to probably let her go on a little bit of a date with Carlos, just so they can get to know each other. She does want to kind of get to know him, and she wants to see how they're, going to get on. So let's go ahead and send Melinda off to get a little bit of rest here, and we will let her take care of some of her needs. She will have to get herself off to work after she gets a little bit of a nap, so we're just going to let her probably nap a little bit, and then she'll take care of some of her needs, such as probably going to the washroom and eating, and then it'll be time for her to head herself off to bed. And Andrew is calling her, asking if he could ask out Vivian Lewis. We're going to tell him no, we don't think that's a good idea, because obviously, you're with us. You're in a relationship with us. We don't really want you asking out a whole bunch of other people and being romantic with other people, because, you're in a relationship with us. We are a loyal sim, and she, as we know, gets jealous over other people. Moira Fries is calling, saying she can't stop thinking about us. We don't know why you feel that way, but we're not interested. So she's just getting herself a bite to eat here, and then we're going to go ahead and let her go to the washroom. And once she has taken care of that, we are probably going to check in with Carlos, and we are going to see about asking him out on a get-to-know-you date, just so that we can get to know him a little bit better, find out how that compatibility stuff is, and just see how he is as a person. She obviously thinks to herself, I also met him on Cupid's Corner. Just because I met him on Cupid's Corner doesn't necessarily mean I have to be romantic with him. Maybe I can just, be friends with him. We could have a nice little friendship or whatever. But she does want to give that a chance. She doesn't want to single herself off with just Andrew. She wants to make sure that she gives everything, a good potential chance. So she is going to do that. Even though, she is a loyal sim, she kind of feels like she owes it to herself to try all opportunities that are available to her. And I am hoping that, she's okay with that and it doesn't cause her any problems. But I guess we'll just have to see how she feels after she has her outing or her little meeting with Carlos. So she is going to schedule a get-to-know-you date with Carlos here. We are just going to go ahead and set up this event with him. We're just going to set this event to have all social things, so they can go ahead and just be friendly. We'll let them do romantic things as well if they want. We're going to just do social things, watch some television, do some cloud gazing and things like that. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to set this date up here at our house, so he can just come on round and get to know us, and we'll just hang out here at the house. And that way we're not going out again, because I think she is kind of thinking of this as kind of something informal, where she's just socializing with him and just kind of getting to know him, and she doesn't really think of this as a date. Bring him on round. I'm gonna get her in her everyday outfit, and he's going to socialize with her, and they're going to kind of get to know each other on this get-to-know-you date. And obviously there are items that they have to meet for that as well. So we will go ahead and let Melinda get to know Carlos a little bit. He is already here. He has shown up for this get-to-know-you date, and they are just going to go ahead and spend a little bit of time together getting to know one another. So they're going to definitely go ahead and socialize. As we know, they do have good compatibility. They are pretty decent as friends. Their bar's pretty decent as friends. And we're just going to hopefully go ahead and get them better. But she has just found out he is a rascal, and it wants to know, does she like rascal sims? I'm going to go ahead and say that she does. That's perfectly fine. She can like rascal sims. We'll be able to let them go ahead and, if she likes rascal sims, then they'll be able to get on hopefully a little bit better. And they have already gained a sentiment together, which is fantastic. So I love that for them. They are really getting on well, it would seem. So they just have to socialize a little bit here. They do need to flirt a little bit, and we need to get them talking about some TV, and they need to do some cloud gazing. So we are going to go ahead and get her to ask him, I guess I should say, if he wants to go out and do a little bit of cloud gazing, as we know that will help get their friendship up as well. And so they're just going to spend some time getting to know each other, discussing some interest, and hopefully we will find the option to be able to talk about television with him. I don't know when that option will pop up, but when it does, we will obviously select that. But in the meantime, they're just going to come out here. They're going to do a little bit of cloud gazing. It is a really hot day today, so she's probably at some point going to need to go ahead and change into her hot weather outfit. But we are going to have to get them flirting a little bit because that is part of what needs to take place with their little goals here. I don't know how that's going to affect her, knowing that she is in a relationship with Andrew and she is a loyal sim. I think that might affect her a little bit. I think she's probably going to feel a little bit guilty about that, and we may end up seeing some negative moodlets in regards to her feeling probably like she's cheating on him. I don't really know, but I guess we'll find out. That being said, just because she flirts with Carlos doesn't necessarily mean that he'll take those advances well. They may not even build any romance. It could just all kind of fall to the wayside. So, you know, they could have just end up being really good friends and nothing will really come of it. And so maybe she won't be affected by it at all, which actually would be great for us, if we're being honest. So she is just doing a little bit of flirting with him, a little bit of socializing. We're discussing some interests and trying to get to know him a little bit better. We're trying to find out what his last trait is. And it looks like we have found out that his last trait is that he is mean, which is not necessarily a good thing. But, you know, it is what it is, I suppose. So she is just flirting with him a little bit, and he's feeling kind of flirty, it looks like, right now, and she's also feeling really flirty. I don't really know what put her in a very flirty mood, but she is feeling really flirty. They have decided to hug it out, and they are, it looks like, becoming really, really good friends. Like, their friendship level is all the way up, and they really seem to be getting on quite well. He likes fitness. Okay, great. We love that you like fitness. So they are finding out a lot of things about each other because they're discussing their interests and things and really socializing about one another and trying to find out a lot about each other on this socializing get-to-know-you date, which is actually pretty fantastic. So, you know, she is really starting to, well, they're both actually feeling really inspired from this get to know you date, and I think the cloud gazing probably helped with that. So she's going to describe a new idea with him and just try to bond with him a little bit. I think that the way things are going right now, I could see them becoming best friends. I don't necessarily see them probably becoming romantic with one another, but they are really, really close. And so I could see him kind of being one of her best guy friends that she would run to and talk to about anything and everything, and she could really confide in. And I think that, like, if anything were to happen with Andrew, she could go to him and she could, like, cry on his shoulder kind of thing. But I don't necessarily see, like, any really romance building with them. So I really don't think that there's anything we have to worry about in that regard. So, you know, she's just feeling really blessed that she's found someone that she gets on with so well, that she can talk to and she can hang out with, that she can discuss interest with and find out new things. And even if they don't necessarily have the same interest, she can teach him things, he can teach her things, and they can be their own individual selves, and at the same time they respect each other. So it looks like he has decided that he wants to be best friends with her. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, you can totally be best friends with her. So they are going to be best friends. I love that for them. I kind of got that feeling from them. I really did. She does have to flirt with him still. Like, I don't really necessarily want them being flirty now that I know that they're best friends. Like, I just really dig the fact that they're going to be best friends, and I really feel like that is how that relationship should fit. Like, he's even being a little bit mean with her, and she's just like, look, you're kind of hurting my feelings, but at the end of the day, like, I guess I can trust you to be honest with me when no one else will. Like, that's how best friends are, right? And so, yeah, he's kind of said some things that, you know, she doesn't necessarily agree with, but at the end of the day, she knows that he's going to tell her the truth, and it may not even be something she wants to hear or she likes to hear, but he's going to be honest and upfront with her, and he's not going to sugarcoat it. So they are just spending the rest of their time together here. This get-to-know-you date is coming to a close. She does have to do a little bit of affection things with him, and that looks like that has actually created a little bit of romance. Wasn't necessarily what I was going for, but it did create some romance with them. So I think that, you know, that's probably going to impact her a little bit, possibly negatively, especially considering she is a very loyal sim and she is in a relationship with Andrew. I think that, you know, that may cause her a little bit of guilt, thinking that, like, you know, I went on this date with him and it was all just to get to know him. We've become best friends. I feel really close to Carlos, but now, you know, our friendship has developed some romantic feelings, and, you know, I feel really guilty about that. And I think that she's going to have to come to terms with that. I think part of her is feeling like, or going to feel like, she's going to need to fess up, maybe, and they're going to go in, they're going to watch a little bit of television, and we are going to, you know, just get this date to where it's just about finished up here. He is kind of wanting to just hang out once the date's over, and obviously that's going to be perfectly fine because they're best friends, so why would he not just hang out? So she's told him that he could just hang out around the house, and they are just going to spend a little bit of time together, and then we will be wrapping up this episode here. In the next episode, we will be seeing her with Andrew. She is probably going to be telling him that she did go on this date with Carlos. I think that she will be telling him all about how things have gone and how she's feeling, and we will be seeing how that unfolds. So I don't know how that's going to go. We'll just have to see. You know, Andrew did ask her if he could go out on a date with someone, and she was like, absolutely not. And then she turned around and went out with Carlos. Mind you, she wasn't trying to be romantic with Carlos. She really was just trying to get to know him and be friendly. But at the end of the day, those friendly feelings and some romance still did end up budding between them. So that date has finished. It was a fine date. It was not a gold date. It wasn't legendary or anything like that, but it is over. And so we are just going to go ahead and take a look at her moodlets here, and we're going to see how she is feeling. Okay, so she is happy she made a best friend, but she says, what have I done? What has she done? Trust is easy to break, but hard to fix. Only confessing will help alleviate this guilt. So she is definitely feeling bad. She does feel like she, you know, cheated on Andrew, and I think that she is really going to have to talk with him and confess what she's done. So we probably will be seeing that she is going to have to talk to Andrew in the next episode and tell him what she's done. I am going to have her come out here, talk to Carlos, and break off their romance and just tell him that she just wants to be friends with him, because she does just want to be friends with him. She loves the fact that they're best friends, and she doesn't want any romance with him. She only wants romance with Andrew. And then I'm going to go ahead and leave this episode here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you are notified when new episodes go live on the channel. And I will see you guys in episode 3 of our little mini series here of LoveBound, where we are going to be seeing Melinda speak with Andrew, tell him how she's feeling and what she's done, see how he takes the news, see if it causes any harm to their relationship, see how she continues on in her exploration of romance, and what else trouble and fun we can find out in this pack, which is going to be great. We do need to deal with the romantic blanket, and we need to have some meals together with Andrew, so we will definitely be doing that. But until next time, I'm going to go ahead and fly for now. Bye, Ravens.